The objective of this video is to answer to the question, which criteria shall we use to regard something as true, based on three different philosophers' perspectives. Nowadays, we are facing a global society in which there are plenty of ideas and information. If we use the allegory of the cavern from Plato, we can realize that it is so hard to reach the world of forms that only the minority, which develops the intellectual vision and take away the senses at observing, do. Despite the easy access to information, it is getting harder to discern if something is true or not. We as human beings are being more vulnerable by social and mass media, which are getting more importance as consultation sources. Sometimes sources can be right, but some of them are subjective or lack of details, and these details make the difference to regard something totally true. The team has decided to take the ideas of three philosophers regarding truth, so by joining their ideas and methods, we could get to the closest totally true concepts.
Our first philosopher will be Aristotle. How can Aristotle prove something as true? Well, Aristotle thought truth directly depends on being. We should notice that he relates being to a particular existence. This being relates to the categories of the world. In the categories, we find an extensive distinction of the things like taonta, meaning what actually exists. The concept of truth and false relates to the correspondence of a sentence to reality. Truth corresponds to what you can see in real life, and false corresponds what you cannot see in real life. Aristotle's concept truth does not depend on correspondence in most cases, just like thoughts, statements, and judgments, but not all, like simple and primary thoughts of incomposites like essences, where truth looks to be identity of intangible form. For Aristotle, true pleasure lies in the fulfillment of our own essence, and for human being, the essence is rationality. Therefore, the idea of how to achieve well-being is through reason. One day, Aristotle said, "Logic is the science of demonstration, since it only takes care of formulating rules to reach truth through demonstration."
Well, our second philosopher is Descartes. This philosopher states that the search of truth consists of a process of analysis and synthesis. The question regarding the search of truth is more radical to lead to find a radical answer in what is true. In the search of truth, using the method of Descartes, we do the next. Analyze means separating the argument of what is true in all its elements possible. Then, synthesizing means to reconstruct that object. When we reconstruct the object, we have a little idea of the object. Then, we separate each argument in as many parts as possible. Next, order the ideas from the simplest to the more complex, and finally reduce so thoroughly that we can be sure not to omit anything. An example that I have is the next. Well, let's imagine, someone tell us a story of horror and say that this is really happened. Then you analyze all the facts that can be true in that story, such as who witnessed this fact, this man is reliable, and order these facts from the simplest to the more complex. And finally, you will have the answer if it is true or just a fallacy.
Created using Powtoon.